While Aegon marched on Harrenhal, Orys Baratheon took the majority of his forces and accompanied Queen Rhaenys and her dragon Meraxes south to confront Argilac the Arrogant, the king of the Stormlands. Argilac's seat was at Storm's End, a castle reputed to be the most impregnable in Westeros, second only to Harrenhal. Although Argilac was known for his arrogance, he was neither foolish nor cowardly. His lords advised him to fortify within the castle and withstand a siege, but he had learned from Harrenhal's fate and refused to be trapped by dragonfire. Argilac called his banners and led his men out to meet Orys in open battle. Thanks to Rhaenys and her dragon, Orys knew of Argilac's approach, the size of his force, and his marching speed. Orys took the high ground, fortifying his position on the hills, and waited for Argilac. As Argilac's army approached, a fierce storm broke, the wind and rain giving the battle its name, the Last Storm. Argilac's advisors urged him to wait for the storm to pass, but the Storm King saw an advantage. The rain blew into the faces of Baratheon's men, and Argilac's forces outnumbered them 2-1, with 4 times as many knights and heavy cavalry. Despite these advantages, the storm's ferocity turned the ground into a treacherous mire. Argilac attacked 3 times, but each charge was thwarted by the muddy hills and relentless downpour. Horses slipped and fell, and each assault collapsed. In a final desperate move, Argilac ordered his spearmen to scale the hill. Blinded by the rain, Baratheon's men were caught off guard. One hill fell, then another, and another, until only the Baratheon center remained. If Argilac could break through, he could split the invading army and flank both halves. Argilac and his men charged the Baratheon center, but as they did, Queen Rhaenys and Meraxes descended upon them. The vanguard of Argilac's forces was engulfed in dragonfire and chaos ensued. Argilac was thrown from his horse but continued to fight valiantly. When Orys Baratheon found him, Argilac was still fighting, holding off several men with half a dozen dead at his feet. Orys dismounted, offering Argilac a final chance to yield. Argilac refused, cursing him instead. As the storm raged around them, the old king and the young lord fought for life and kingdom. Argilac got his wish. He died with a sword in his hand. With Argilac's death, his lords and knights surrendered or fled. Orys and his men rode to Storm's End, finding the gates barred and the walls manned. Argilac's daughter had assumed her father's crown, declaring herself Storm Queen. She vowed that Orys would gain only bones, blood, and ashes from Storm's End. However, her men, less resolute than she, betrayed her that night. They delivered her to Orys's camp in restraints. Despite this, Orys treated her with unexpected honor. He freed her from her restraints and offered her wine. He promised to take the arms, banner, and words of House Durrandon to honor her father's courage. House Baratheon adopted the crowned stag as its sigil, and Storm's End became their seat. Argilac's daughter remained in her home, not as a princess, but as a lady. The Stormlands now belonged to Aegon, and as tribute, he demanded the swords of Argilac's defeated men. Orys did not yet know their purpose, but he dutifully collected them for his king.